Every year, roller coasters are getting higher and faster. Why not? Adrenaline junkies love pushing limits. In the last few decades, a coaster revolution has taken place, and there is no telling how far or fast it can go. And who's responsible for this coaster craze? Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. It's home to not one, but two of Travel Channel's coolest coaster picks. Magnum and Millennium Force get the coolest coaster stamp of approval for pushing the limits of height and speed. In the late 1980s, roller coasters went through a renaissance, and Magnum led the way. It's our pick for the coolest coaster that dared to be the highest and fastest of its day, and literally start a revolution.
We started the coaster boom here probably in '89 with Magnum, being the first coaster to go over 200 foot tall.
At a peak height of 205 feet, Magnum's 25 feet taller than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And its 72-mile-an-hour top speed generates plenty of screams.
We got such a great response. We knew people want tall and fast roller coasters, and we've added them almost every other year here since then. Even today, 12 years after it is open, it is still consistently rated in the top 5 of the best steel roller coasters in the world.
Its height may seem like child's play when compared to some of the giants being built today, but if not for Magnum, this tall trend may never have started. And riders may not have experienced the Force, Millennium Force, our second pick for one of America's coolest coasters. Like its predecessor, Magnum, Millennium Force has pushed the limits of height and speed like never before. Back when the world was worried about Y2K, Cedar Point had no fear when it came to breaking the 300-foot barrier.
Millennium Force we opened here at Cedar Point back in 2000. It stands 310 foot tall.
That's taller than the Statue of Liberty and the U.S. Capitol building.
Reaches a top speed of 93 miles per hour, and ever since then it has been consistently rated as the best roller coaster in the world.
Building the best coasters means hiring experts who know the ups and downs and ins and outs of the trade. The newspaper Amusement Today has ranked Cedar Point the overall best park in the country, and accolades Cedar Point won in part by employing some of the best ride manufacturers in the world, including S&S Sports Power in Logan, Utah.
People say, well, you got to go higher and faster. That's not necessarily true. I just flew here the other day from Texas. I was 36,000 feet in the air and doing 600-something miles an hour. I didn't even notice that. Now, however, if I was to put a restraint on the wing and strap you in that restraint, by the time that plane got at 100 miles an hour and 20 feet off the ground, you'd be scared to death.
Trying to scare the people really is my favorite part of the job. You don't start with the mechanism, you don't start with the track. You really start with the person, you get the feelings, the G-force. After you've decided what you want the people to feel and where they're going to go, the tricky part is really to get the vehicle that they're going to ride in. That's actually the hard part of the process.
Of course, the best part of designing a ride comes at the end.
You really never understand the design that you've created until you get on it for the first time and really feel it. If you've done it right, it'll still blow you away. As
theme parks move forward full scream ahead, ride makers push the limits of coasters to new heights.
I always say the human body is the only limit to what we can design. If we were just sending an empty car around, we could make these things do 10 times the amazing things. Tougher humans would make our job a lot easier.
For over a century, Cedar Point has advanced the limits of roller coasters and become the evolutionary epicenter of theme park rides.
Cedar Point is actually the second oldest continually operated amusement park here in North America. We have a history that dates back to 1870. Our very first roller coaster was back in 1892. It was called the Switchback Railway. It stood about 25 foot tall and went a top speed of approximately 10 miles an hour. Very tame by today's standards.
From tame rides to the tallest coasters around. No doubt why Cedar Point is home to 2 of Travel Channel's coolest coaster picks.
You know, you look over and the skyline, a downtown city here in the middle of Sandusky, Ohio, with every coaster and every ride just, you know, skyscraping 200, 300, 400 foot tall. It's amazing how much the park has grown.
Proving that when it comes to roller coasters, bigger does mean better. Believe it or not, today's mega coasters evolved from Russian ice slides invented as early as the 15th century. Despite frigid temperatures, daredevils back then would ride wooden sleds down the icy slide while sitting atop fur and straw seats.